Welcome back, Know-It-Alls. Thanks for the support by listening to the show. We send out our appreciation to each and every one of you for allowing our podcast to take up a little bit or a lot of your precious time. Please send us more of your feedback so we can make sure the show is better for you. Alright, welcome back, Know-It-Alls. We have an awesome day today. We have the OG, Teapot is back.
Yeah.
And I believe Teapot brought a special guest.
What's up?
The Gelman. And we brought kind of an interesting little game to play with Mr. Clay. We've been planning this. Play an interesting game. We've been planning this for a long time. We've done a lot of, would you call it research?
Oh yeah, I'd call it research. Yeah.
It's been this took a lot of time, so I'm very, very excited about this one.
Well, I'm excited to be part of this one as well.
Yeah, so we're, we've talked about movies quite a bit on this
Almost
podcast.
every episode, I'm sure there's movie references.
Yeah. Movies tend to be, honestly, it's very funny to me because movies have been a big part of your life,
Huge.
Clay, forever. And then I met the Gelman over here, and movies are a huge part of his life. And it's so funny because, like, growing up, you, Clay, always told me, like, gotta watch this, gotta watch that. And I just kind of...
Most people just ignore it, and they walk the other way.
I didn't. There was some that I did. There was some. And then the other half, the Gelmans got me to watch. So now movies are a big part of my life all of a sudden. And I've started... I don't know. I feel like ever since I met the Gelman... I've gotten into like way more genres of movies. Like I'm somebody who's watched. You're not gonna know what movie this is. I've watched Letters to Juliet.
Yeah.
Like 57 times.
Just kidding. I've never seen it.
Yeah, it has Amanda Seyfried in it. Anyways.
Oh my god.
Chick flick. I made him watch it because it's my comfort movie.
Why would I not want to watch that?
It's
I like
so
her.
Good. It's chick flick. They go to Italy and the landscapes, Italian landscapes, are fucking gorgeous, and it's about this old woman. I love it. Anyway. I started diving into other genres, and this isn't a genre per se. I feel like you can find these in all genres, but we started watching movies that are so incredibly bad that they're entertaining. They're good. I wouldn't say good. They're entertaining.
So you don't find that a waste of time?
I know, that's the thing, because there's movies that like you literally want to walk out of, right? And you're like, that was a waste of my time. But then there's movies that are so bad.
You just want to wait to see what happens next.
You never know what's around the corner. You're like, this could get
better.
Even worse.
Or better.
And both of them are a win. For somehow, if it gets worse, it's a win. If it gets better, it's a win.
Well,
so
I mean,
it's
I guess...
awesome.
No, I totally understand that. It's like the time I went to the Britney Spears concert and tried to sneak backstage.
Yeah.
And
you got kicked out.
And I got kicked out twice, right?
Yeah.
Because they caught me going in a second time with my legit tickets.
Yeah.
It's a way better story that I didn't get to go than it would have been if I had gotten to go.
Yeah, absolutely. And so the Gelman and I, we have spent the last several months... we don't have that many, but we spend quite a few months. We watch movies all the time, and every once in a while, you just have this hankering to watch something that will not inspire or really entertain in any other way other than you feel better about yourself because, like, you could have made a better movie.
You weren't part of that movie.
Yeah. Just not having anything to do with that movie makes me feel like a more accomplished person. Yeah.
Does it ever bother you that somebody high up in a studio approved that movie to be made? You're like, that money could have been used for anything else.
Yeah.
Like Tusk.
Yeah. Oh my god. I was gonna say, didn't you buy that? You didn't. Oh, it was an option.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were at
missed out.
We were at movie stores and you found it, right?
Oh yeah, it was just at a thrift shop.
Yeah, and
someone got rid of it.
Who would throw away Tusk?
No idea.
And he showed it to me. He's like, "Should we get it?" And I was like, "I'll literally puke."
Mr. Tusk.
It is the worst. See that one was not entertaining for me because I was so grossed out.
But you didn't watch it.
Oh no, I watched fucking scenes of it because we're on a plane. You're watching that movie on a plane. Anyone could look over at any time.
Yeah.
And you kept like showing me bits and pieces of it. I watched a lot. I'd say more than I ever needed to.
I mean, you just saw Justin Long as a human walrus and you thought, no, pass.
I don't want to spoil it for anyone,
Oh,
but the
okay.
fucking ending. And
Yeah.
they just,
Yeah.
like, that was the one thing that, like, gave me nightmares forever.
Like, are you sure you couldn't have made it different?
I know, it's horrible. You guys gotta watch the movie.
We're talking about a horrible movie and then we're telling you to watch it?
Yeah, because it'll scar you for life. I don't know, some people are into that shit.
Yeah, and if
There's
you need
some
to
deep
find it,
dark-
where's the thrift store in case they're still looking for an actual physical copy?
Physical copy.
I don't even remember.
I don't
What
know,
is it?
we've been to so
Yeah,
many
we've
thrift
been-
stores.
I
this
guarantee you
summer.
it's gone. It's gone by now.
Of course, it's so sought after.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, what the Gelman and I have done is we watch these wonderful, bad, horrible movies, and what we've done is made the Gelman wrote up a few lines of a synopsis.
Nice little synopses.
Yeah, nice little synopsis.
Are these like a genre? Is it all...
No,
Are they-
No,
it's
it's just-
everywhere.
Okay, good.
Yeah, no, it's just a little. We're just gonna, and the synopses are not just like the movie. They're probably not that good, but I wouldn't know because I haven't read them yet. I've seen the movies, but the Gelman, took it upon himself to write all of these synopses.
He's the true hero.
He is the true hero. So I'm going to be reading these for the first time, and how the game goes is I will read the synopses. And I will give you 4 options of the title of the movie.
Okay.
So it's a multiple choice question.
Perfect.
4 options. You have to try and guess the correct title of the movie. Get it right, get it wrong. I don't really give a shit. It's going to be funny either way.
There's literally could not be lower stakes.
So I don't lose anything?
No.
No.
I don't win
what
anything.
do you want to lose?
I don't know.
I don't know. What do we have? We have some salt and pepper shakers. If you get less than 50%, one of those is going to go somewhere that you're not going to like. Or...
That I'll really like?
I was going to say, or if you get above 50%,
Well,
it's
so,
going to go somewhere.
so the bigger one is for when I get right answers,
Yeah.
and the smaller one is for when I get wrong answers.
Let's just go full like strip.
Yes.
Strip game.
It's a strip game.
Done.
We're not playing though.
Oh, just
so by
me?
the end,
Yeah.
you're just going to
Okay.
be naked in the chair.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I've never done that before.
And then once you've guessed, we'll tell you the right answer, and then maybe we'll talk about our experience watching the movie. And I'm really interested to see if you have heard of any of these movies. I think the first one might be maybe one that you've heard of, because I heard about it before I watched it, and I don't know movies.
Okay.
The rest of them didn't fucking know what I was getting myself into. So are you ready to play the game?
I am ready to play the game.
We have 7 of them, by the way. We've sat through 7 movies so that we could do this game with no stakes. That's my favorite. Is we sat through over 7 hours worth of these movies for us to play a game that has literally no winning or losing. It's mostly losing.
I sat through them because I wanted to.
I was gonna say,
So
you've also
the
seen them
games-
more than once.
Gelman won.
Well,
Just
a few of them.
A couple of them.
Yeah. Okay.
So what's the reason for watching them again?
They're very entertaining.
I think to watch my reaction.
And yeah, it's like
Okay.
to watch it again by yourself would be a little weird, I think. But
Yeah.
it's one of those things, just like a cringy YouTube video sometimes, where you're like,
Yeah. Or even
just
a
gotta-
good movie. Sometimes you want to show your friends or
Yeah.
somebody. You're like, you want to share something that gave you so much joy.
Yeah.
No one said that it was a good source of joy, but he liked them enough to show me.
Entertainment
Yeah.
is what it is.
And you
Yeah.
just get to watch other people's reactions to things. Like,
Alright.
look at Avengers and stuff. Like, half the fun of the Marvel movies is seeing everybody's reactions to them as well. Like, people who are huge fans. I love even my mom doesn't give a shit about anything, and then Endgame, she's bawling.
Really?
She doesn't even know the characters' names, and she still cried at the end. So it's nice
she
to watch.
cries
My mom cries at Huggy
always,
commercials.
yeah.
So
Whenever somebody
babies
dies
in them.
something,
or
or
lives.
is too cute, she'll
Yeah.
start crying.
Yeah, I'm getting there as well. So, anyways,
I'm just picturing War Machine going back in time to strangle baby Thanos.
Yeah.
And your mom he's so cute.
he's
As she knows he's the biggest, baddest guy
Yeah.
that they're fighting.
yeah,
But he's so cute.
he's cute.
As a baby.
Yeah, my mom, she has a hard time rationalizing things. Like, I remember her talking about, like, cows once. She's like, cows are really cute. Like, if you look them in the eyes, they're so cute. And I'm a vegetarian, so I was just like, I know, and I don't eat them. She's like, yeah, but I don't like to think of my meat as an animal. And I'm like, you ignorant fuck. Like, at least admit it. At least when you eat meat, at least be like, thank you to this animal who lost their life so I can have sustenance, you know?
My youngest kid,
Acknowledge it.
He'll look at his plate. Is this pig? Cow? What is this? Like, it's cow. Okay. And he'll eat it. He doesn't care. He just wants to know what's this? That's chicken. That comes from a chicken? Yeah. Okay. And he eats it.
My niece, at like 4 years old, learned that, well, she just started, it's completely fine somehow, calling all pork Peppa.
Okay, yeah.
Like, she's like, oh, we're having Peppa for dinner.
Delicious.
She doesn't care. She's like, we're eating Peppa. Peppa Pig. Anyways, so we're going to get into the first one here.
Okay.
Like I said, you might know this one. I've already read the first sentence, and I feel like the Gelman has sprinkled in his heavy interpretations of some of these films.
So once again, you're reading a synopsis of the movie.
Written by Gelman, and
Okay.
then I'll give you 4 options for the title, and you have to choose one. Okay?
Done.
So, number 1. An alien family with butthole mouths gets sucked up into a space vacuum and brought back to Earth. While there, they get separated from their alien son, who proceeds to try to ruin the life of a poor crippled boy. Don't worry though, the power of Coca-Cola and McDonald's will save the day. No, this isn't an E.T. ripoff, because in E.T., the alien goes back to his planet, and in this, they shoot guns and become U.S. citizens. So,
Oh, wow.
the question is, what is the title of this particular movie? Is it A, Mac and Me, B, My Alien Friend, C, An Alien in L.A., or D, Mac's Earth Adventure?
I'm going to go with Mac and Me.
Have you heard of this one before?
I remember seeing a poster of Mac and Me, and that's the only one I know out of those 4.
I was going to say, I thought you would get this one. I wish I had like a ding, 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 ding. It is Mac and Me. You want to know how I know about this movie?
Yeah.
Before we talk about it. I know this movie because every time, I believe it's Paul Rudd, goes on, is it Conan O'Brien?
Oh,
every
yeah, the
single
clip.
time, that's Mac and Me.
Yeah.
Of the kid in the wheelchair that goes off the cliff into the river.
And then all of a sudden this weird alien head
And
pops
that
up,
weird
and
alien head
that's
goes,
the whole
ooh!
clip.
Yeah, that's the whole clip. That's Mac and Me.
Yes, it is.
It's an adventure. The whole thing feels like a McDonald's fever dream.
So, butthole alien.
Yeah.
Like their mouths. Look
mouths.
at
Okay, it wasn't...
It's like sphincter.
I thought it was a
mouths.
literal butthole alien. I was like, okay, that's a kid's movie. That can't be Mac and Me, but maybe I didn't...
Butthole mouths.
Okay.
It looks like an anus.
Yeah. And
For a
they're,
mouth.
they're always like circles, like tight little circles.
Like whistling.
Always, because it's just
Yeah.
a mask, and they didn't have the budget to
wasn't-
animate the mask at all.
Can you imagine if they redid it? It'd be incredible.
Actually do CGI.
Yeah.
Right.
No, it was all...
Or like the dark gritty reboot.
It was
like
all...
the DC universe.
Yeah, Snyder cut to do it.
Yeah, it was an event. Yeah, I don't know. I just remember the suits being bad. Mm-hmm. And I remember them going into McDonald's. And there's something about Coca-Cola. They literally just like everybody lives off Coca-Cola.
They find out that like Coca-Cola to the aliens is like what... I think it starts with the aliens like just sucking off the ground. Like they got these straws and they're like sucking out of the ground of like their own planet.
Yeah.
And then it turns out that basically Coca-Cola is
McDonald's Coca-Cola as well.
Well, you know it is better.
Yeah.
Is whatever fucking liquid was inside their planet, and it like saves one of the aliens at one point. They're dying and they feed them some Coca-Cola and they're just like, I'm better now.
Yeah, he's literally is in a cave, isn't it? That's the
it's in
one
a
where he's in the
cave.
cave and he's dying, and they literally bring him a can of Coca-Cola.
Well, I think we know who paid for that movie.
Yeah, it's 100%. There's a dance number in a McDonald's.
it is.
Oh, wow.
I'm sorry, it's been a long time since I've seen this movie, and so I feel like I'm relying on him to remind me. But legitimately, partway through, it just turns into what feels like a musical, and then immediately stops being a musical. It's just a sick dance number, and there's so many people in that McDonald's. It was packed.
It's packed. It was the biggest McDonald's I've ever seen. It was wall to wall people. No COVID regulations going on.
No,
and
definitely
they were
not.
all just they all had dance moves.
Yeah.
It's weird earlier we were talking about, it's just weird that someone high up in a chain in a studio got this movie made.
Yeah.
And now we realize that somebody probably said no all the way to the top.
Yeah.
And then they went to like sponsors and they went to Coke. They go, you can put your stuff, it can be the life force of this movie.
Yeah.
It
And
can be
they're like, "Fuck
they're
yeah."
like, hell yeah. And
Yeah.
they paid for it all.
And
Amazing.
Then they
And
go to
McDonald's.
and they're like, can the lead character's name be Big Mac? And they're like, well, he's small, so much.
At the end of the movie, like we were saying, it can't be like E.T. because it's like a happy ending where E.T. gets to go home and like, like you know what I mean? Like all is right with the world. But these guys, in the most American fashion, have like a weird gun shootout, and then they become like U.S. citizens. And there's literally a part of the movie where they're like dressed in normal clothes, even though they're still aliens.
Obviously.
And they're getting like sworn in as U.S. citizens
On a Bible.
Do they
on a
speak?
Christian Bible.
on a Christian Bible.
Do they speak English?
They don't speak at
They
all.
don't speak. They make like don't they make
Like a
weird
whistly,
noise
like-
With their
Yeah.
butthole mouse?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because they have
'cause they're
butthole
always-
mouse.
Sphinctered up.
But
They're always sucking
they
with
drink
straws.
Coke, they eat McDonald's, and they shoot guns. So
Also,
America.
we haven't mentioned this yet. Also, in that shootout scene at the end,
Mm-hmm.
the crippled kid fucking gets shot.
oh yeah,
And straight up dies. And then, of course, Mac has some weird bullshit magic that brings him to life.
Yeah.
But at one point, a kid just gets shot. A kid in a wheelchair
A
just
kid-
gets shot
Well,
by like a cop.
What's more American than
A
that?
cab.
it's true.
Kids should have been out of school.
Yeah.
It's true. But legitimately, I remember looking at you and being like, "Did this kid just die? Did he just fucking kill a kid? This is a
Kid in a
kid's
wheelchair
movie."
gets
Yeah,
shot
it's a crippled
dead.
kid. All right. Should we move on to number 2?
Please.
Okay. I love this one. I feel for me, I don't know why. It was on. And I started watching it, and we just never turned it off. And I was
Yeah.
like, this is...
You made me pick something to watch, so I was like, I'm going to make you regret that.
Yeah, but honestly, this was the moment. This was the movie that I was like, I want... when I'm feeling in the mood, I want more of these that are just so fucking mind-boggling... stupid.
Yeah.
So anyway, welcome. This is number 2. Welcome to the town of Nilbog, where you are doing a house swap with a family of farmers. That sounds good. However, all of the residents of the town are goblins. That's bad. But they are vegetarians. That's good. But they feed you vegetables covered in green icing that turns you into a vegetable. That's bad. Don't worry though, the ghost of your grandpa is going to help you save your family by freezing time to give you the opportunity to pee on the food. That's good. But nobody else can see him or believes you at all, so they get mad. That's bad. You save you
save the day.
you save the day by eating a thick bologna sandwich. That's good. I guess you didn't actually save the day, and the goblins murder your family right as you get back home. That's bad. That's the synopsis.
So you're doing a house swap, but
Yeah.
you're not a goblin.
No.
But everybody else in the town
Everybody else in
is.
the
So
town
you're-
is a
so
goblin.
the
But they
people-
look like regular people.
Okay.
Except somewhere on their body, they have a birthmark, usually on their face, that almost looks like a skin tag, but it's in the shape of a clover leaf.
Okay.
And those are the goblins, and they're vegetarians. But they feed you green icing that turns you into a vegetable, so they
And
can
I don't
eat
have a
you.
choice. I have to eat only that.
Well, that's
at
all
first,
they
At
sell.
first, they kind of try to trick you, but then after a while, they get a little more.
They try to
violent,
shove
a
it in
little
your
more-
mouth, and like gas station, because I think the goblins only eat
People?
People.
the people plant
people.
because like
Okay.
every like gas station and stuff sells only things with this green icing that'll turn you into a plant.
So you're on a road trip and you stop at the gas station and
Yeah.
you essentially get
Yeah.
turned into a vegetable because
Yeah.
you eat a snack from the gas station.
yeah, that's and it, by the way, I don't think you're understanding. Just exactly everything, all the food has some, like there was at one point a sandwich, so a bun, and in the center is just thick, like dense, bright green icing, like the greenest green.
And I'm not supposed to
Icing.
recognize that. I just eat.
That's
just
the
go.
weird part is that everything is covered in this stuff.
And no one.
And I'm assuming in the film it's not supposed to be icing, but it's clearly just icing. But nobody questions it. Like literally, they swap houses with the family, and they go inside, and there's like a feast on the table, and it's all cobs of corn and salads and stuff, but everything has a slob of this green icing on it, and the dad's just like,
That's dig in.
Southern house hospitality.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you don't want to be rude.
Yeah. So let's go through the title.
Please.
So what is the title of this
Yeah, we
movie?
tried
Please,
that part.
please.
Is it A, Return of the Goblins, B, Troll 2, C, More Trouble in Tiny Town, or D, Clovertown Resurrection?
Oh my.
Yeah. If you need any repeated, let me know. Take a minute, breathe.
I think I could take hours and I still wouldn't get it.
You got a 25% chance if you just shoot in the dark.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you do get resurrected as a vegetable.
Yeah.
And the town is Clovertown.
It's Nilbog.
Nilbog.
But they have clover leaves on them, and that shows that they are goblins. I also want to point out that the name of the town is just goblin backwards.
And that's a huge revelation.
And that's a huge... They look at it in like a mirror, and they're like, Nilbog
my.
is just
Nilbog,
goblin.
it's goblin spelled backwards.
Yeah. And they pointed out to you in that way, in case you couldn't read it.
At this point, is
dummy.
the deceased grandfather ghost helped you yet? Or
He's
does he do the
he's helped
relative...
you piss on the food at that point. But
Yeah.
he pops up again.
Because didn't the little boy, like, at that feast, stand up on the table and try to piss on the table?
Well, everyone was frozen, but it was
Yeah.
very entertaining because it's clear that they were just supposed to stand very still.
Yeah,
frozen.
they're supposed to be
It's just-
frozen in
And the
time
actors, like, and you can see,
They're
you know,
moving.
them shake a little bit and breathe.
and blink.
So
frozen.
peeing on the vegetables kills the
on
green sludge?
On the green
No,
icing.
it makes people not want to eat the food because it's covered in piss.
Oh, yeah.
It didn't kill anything.
That's
It-
weird because
It just saves them.
I would sit down and look at all the green stuff on top and be like, I don't want to eat this.
No,
you
it-
don't even need to pee on
it
it.
was
I
the
already
pee.
don't want to
Yeah.
eat it. I'm. What's the third one?
The third
I
one
had a good feeling about
was
it. I don't,
More Trouble in Tiny Town.
yeah, I'm gonna go with that.
Sure. That is incorrect.
Okay, no ding ding ding.
No.
I get
It's
shitty.
50-50.
The title of this movie is Troll 2.
Troll 2.
There's no trolls.
They don't mention the word troll ever.
There's no trolls in this movie.
have you
They're
s-
goblins.
Have you seen Troll 1?
I have seen troll.
I have
She
not.
hasn't.
Is it anything like that?
It's no.
Is it the same town?
The
Hold on.
connection
I'm gonna ask a bunch of questions before you answer.
Okay.
So,
I love this
number
movie.
one, is it set in the same town?
Okay.
Number two, do the goblins have the mark on them in Troll 1?
Okay.
Number three, is there green stuff on vegetables? Number four, do dead relatives come back?
Okay. I'm gonna try to remember all I can about Troll,
One.
the original.
Just troll.
So, in Troll, it takes place in an apartment building. There's only one troll.
Mm-hmm.
He's a troll and not a goblin in this one.
Obviously.
It doesn't take place in this town. There's no green stuff. There's no dead relatives.
Is there goblins?
There's no goblins. Here's the actual only connection between the two films is they made Troll 1. I think it made like some decent money on like VHS sales. So they're like they made somebody and they had this mask and the Troll 1 had this mask that was pretty decent. It kind of moved around. It had like animatronics and puppeteering and it's not great, but it's like not bad.
So better
For-
than the
for
butthole alien mask.
Better than
Yeah.
the butthole alien mask.
Okay.
It was okay. And they had these masks, and they said, well, let's use these masks, let's repurpose these masks for this unrelated movie.
Mm-hmm.
But this time it's just like the mold, there's no animatronics, and they look like absolute dog
And they
shit.
just flop around.
They just flop around, they're clearly masks.
like the nose just wiggles, like it's because it's clearly rubber.
One of them,
Like
Wow.
it's silicone.
one of them looks sickly always.
Yeah.
There's one that I laugh every time it's on the screen. But there's like three. It's like a thing where there's like three different faces and they're just repurposed. So there's like 10 goblins on screen maybe, but they all have these same three different faces, these three different
Yeah.
masks.
Well, that makes sense.
yeah.
Because they use the mold.
So
over and over.
basically, that's the connection. They had the rights to the name. They made this film. They used the mask, and they're like, well, that one made a decent amount of money. Let's just call this one Troll 2.
And they would have had way more money if they had approached McDonald's and Coca-Cola
I agree.
and said, let's do Mac and Me too.
I agree.
Trolls.
Yeah, they're
Or goblins.
Goblins. I loved that movie because it was so incredibly ridiculous. Like at one point, he's in the back of a vehicle and they're driving through this town, and then he like the kid's kind of like the main character, and he daydreams that he's turning into a tree, and then all of a sudden he's not, which kind of like foreshadows because he's turning into like a plant. I also can't remember. Maybe you can explain to me why this happens. But at one point, so there's this witch that I think she's like the Goblin Queen. And she first of all, she's actually hot. Like I was actually down for the witch, but she has like gross teeth.
Yeah, they like do like classic like high school makeup, and her acting is very high school.
Oh yeah, it's horrible.
But she's got like fake teeth in. She's got like exaggerated bags under her eyes. She's got like a gray wig on, so she's kind of like gross looking.
Yeah.
But then at one point,
she turns hot.
We also haven't mentioned. There's a whole subplot about the sister's boyfriend who always hangs out with his friends, and his friends are always there. And she's like, "We're going on this trip, and you're invited, but your friends aren't allowed to come." And she's like, "Show up tomorrow without your friends, and you can come." And he doesn't show up, so she's all mad at him. They drive away, and then following behind them is an RV filled with him and his friends,
obviously,
because he could not have his friends.
Yeah.
So. Anyway, there's a whole subplot.
They save the day, don't they?
No, they actually get fucked.
They all die.
They all die.
The witch comes and seduces one.
Yeah.
She turns herself hot.
Is that the one? I just remember her going into the RV and there was like a cob of corn.
And they start like making out with the cob of corn in between them.
Yeah, like they make out with the corn in between their faces, and then it pops. And the whole thing, the whole RV fills with popcorn.
Literally, the entire RV fills with popcorn.
From one cob of corn. This is a real movie.
I wish there was video on us right now, because I'm like staring blankly.
Yeah.
Like,
it's wonderful.
Wow.
Yeah, this is a real thing.
I'm gonna, seeing as we're talking about video, I'm just gonna start showing them.
That's what the faces look like.
Okay. Yeah. That's
I highly recommend our listeners literally Google every movie that we talk about and just look through these pictures. It's fantastic. Troll 2.
I'm gonna definitely watch the trailers of all of these.
Yeah. Oh god, it's so fucking good. Seriously, just watch the movie. Just get into it. Anyway, do you have any other questions about Troll 2? That's about goblins. Oh, my favorite part of it is they leave town. So they figure out that they're goblins. They figure out they're trying to kill them. They have this huge standoff. All this stuff.
The boyfriend's dead.
Boyfriend I think lives,
but
his friends all die.
But the family
friends are
is kind of
literally
part
there
of
because
that.
they're like, we need a body count a little bit.
Yeah,
this is a horror movie. We need to kill a couple.
We're gonna get the people invested in this family. We won't kill them.
No.
So the family's got all survive,
but this is the thing.
Friends all die.
You say that, and then they survive. They drive home. They get inside their house.
Oh my god!
Everything's fine, and then the goblins show up and kill them all, and that's the end of the movie. That's the end of the movie.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, there's a goblin again, and then it's like a freeze frame, and it's like...
Yeah, I guess they don't know if they die.
A bit of like a...
Well, that's how you leave it open for...
Troll 3.
Oh, hold on. Trolls 3 about unicorns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Well, here's the thing. There's, I think, 2 or 3 films that have, at one point, gone by the name on video releases, Troll 3.
Amazing.
One of them has to do with killer plants. I don't think trolls are even in it.
Well, the plants want to get even
Another
for
one's, I think, like a
having the green goo on them.
Yeah.
Another one's like, I think, a sword and sorcery, like Conan the Barbarian-esque movie, where they just repurpose one of the masks again for one of the characters.
That's amazing.
And they're just like, fuck it, let's call this one Troll 3.
They got a tight budget.
There's at least 2 Troll 3s.
All right.
Well, they're probably not making a lot of bank on the return, right? They got to repurpose.
Well, I think they're making a good amount of bank on the return because they spend 0 money on the film.
Exactly. They got to keep repurposing.
But they got to churn out, yeah. You got to keep using those masks. They're great masks.
All right, are we ready for number 3?
Oh, fuck yeah, I'm ready.
We're going to take this is the hard turn, all right? I'm going to read it in my best actual
She's all that.
Voice. No.
He's all that?
No.
I saw it last night.
All right. This movie has everything you expect from an action flick. Guns, ripped dudes, naked playmates, stolen drug diamonds, sexism, racism, homophobia, wicked Frisbee skills, and a contaminated snake made deadly by toxic, cancer-infested rats. When 2 hot blonde operatives accidentally intercept an illegal diamond delivery, the local drug lord will stop at nothing to get them back. He is pulling out all the stops, including a home invasion, an evil crossdresser, and some dude on a skateboard with a blow-up doll.
The way you describe it, you almost sound like Stefan from Saturday Night Live talking about New York's hottest club. This club has everything.
It has guns, ripped dudes, sexism, homophobia, wicked Frisbee skills.
And human traffic cones.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Stefan. What is a human traffic cone? Oh, that's when you get two midgets dressed in orange and you have to parallel park in between them.
These are so stupid. All right. Do you have any questions before I give you the titles?
Oh, I have so many.
So many and so little.
That would be 11 episodes of this podcast.
I just want to mention that the line, a contaminated snake made deadly by
toxic
cancer-infested rats,
okay,
is like word for word a line said in that film. That one is not, that's not like butthole mouths. They weren't supposed to have butthole mouths.
No.
That is word for word.
And I think, do you see the cancer-infected rats? No, I would say you just see the snake.
Yeah, and the snake is clearly a
my
puppet.
favorite thing about
like
the snake is that they introduce it, and then 99% of the movie completely just forgets about it, but it comes back in the end.
Well, that's, you don't expect it, obviously.
I know.
You forgot about it.
I know, but it's funny because the whole beginning setup of this movie is about this snake, and then it just takes a hard turn.
Yeah.
And it's no longer about the snake.
You'd think by this description that, the drug lord has this snake.
Well, yeah, it's
and
his.
he's using it. No.
Completely two different storylines.
The snake it was just like a misshipment. It was supposed to go to like some research facility, and it ended up
so
here.
Two separate storylines.
Okay.
Completely with the cancer snake.
Now I know what you're wondering. At the end, does the snake come out of a toilet? And is it shot with a bazooka? But the bazooka somehow only blows up the head of the snake, and that's the very last scene of the film. And the answer is yes. That is how it ends.
Yeah.
Well, okay. When you asked if I had any questions, that was my first one.
So that's off the table.
Yeah.
All right. So the titles to choose from: A, Hard Ticket to Hawaii; B, The Dallas Connection; C, Malibu Express; or D, Savage Beach.
So I'm kind of disappointed now because I was expecting a city or something, or in the name of
Hawaii,
the last one.
Dallas, Malibu.
I was expecting the fourth one to have the name of a city or a location.
Yeah.
Well, the beach.
Beach. Yeah.
It's not particular. It's not specific.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go with the odd man out. We're going with beach.
Savage Beach.
Sure.
Here's the fun thing about this one. This is
this
Hard
really
Ticket
fun.
to Hawaii.
Yeah, this is Hard Ticket to Hawaii.
All four of those are real films made by the same guy with basically the same plot of naked female operatives.
Yeah. So
and
it's like
bad action.
Oh yeah, so it's just like fucking Playboy Bunny, just hot women, tiny,
big fake old titties,
huge titties, tiny little clothes. They're cops. So this one's Hard Ticket to Hawaii. They come to Hawaii and they have to try to get this snake, and then they see this guy with the diamond smuggling and drug lord stuff. It's just wonderful, and it's a little porny. It's a little soft porn,
I was gonna say it was right up my alley, but you said soft porn,
yeah,
so I've
soft.
just
It's real soft.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I have to tell you, my personal favorite scene in this movie is so they want to get into this drug lord's compound, right? But he is going to have security.
Absolutely.
And so, and this is all in Hawaii. So they're on a beach, and then his compound is kind of up on the hill, and there's this guy. Who's the security, and he's on the beach. But this other girl, this random girl on the beach, goes up to him and unrelated. We never met her.
Not a real character in the film.
Just a chick, and she starts playing. He has a gun on his back,
he's
strapped
got a gun,
on.
That's strapped. That's
on the beach.
Yeah. He's on the beach, next to the hill,
guarding this hill. That's the end.
Okay, so it's not like a public beach, and he's walking around with an AK.
It's a public beach.
Kind of a public
She's running
beach.
on the beach.
She's just running on the beach.
And she sees this guy, but he's right in front of this hill that leads right up to the compound. So she goes up to him and is like, "Do you want to?" Essentially, they start playing frisbee, right? So they're on the beach and fucking chucking a frisbee.
If you listen closely to the dialogue of this,
film,
because it's got very deep, rich dialogue.
Yeah.
You find out that this is something that this random girl just does a lot.
Okay.
They just kind of became Frisbee buddies.
They're Frisbee
Aw.
buddies,
So
as
they do
you
that
do.
on a fairly
So-
regular basis. She comes to throw Frisbee.
This is the guy I don't remember much of the characters' names or anything, but this is a male operative, so he's working with the main like female cops,
Okay.
right? So he's the good guy, and he goes up and he's like, "Can I play Frisbee with you guys?" And they start playing Frisbee, and then why does the girl leave? Does he like ask her to leave? He's like,
"Get out of
go,
here."
go, and
she
so
just leaves. She doesn't like. She's not like, "Hey, I was playing first." She just runs off.
He just kind
into
of
the abyss because she's not a real character.
And she had more people to play Frisbee with because
yeah,
that's what
she
she
had
does.
more Frisbee buddies, and so then all of a sudden we just have these two fucking alpha Frisbee boys.
Well, yeah.
And they're playing Frisbee, and then they
And
you
they're
know,
doing shitty little tricks.
oh, they're trying to do tricks where they're showing off for each other, and then the good guy.
First here's the big thing.
Okay.
The bad guy.
Yeah.
He's like, this guy's all right. This guy's a thrower. That's a line. In the
Oh,
film. He's like,
nice.
oh, you're a thrower.
Yeah.
So he's like his guard's down now. He takes off the gun. He puts
Yeah.
the gun down. He wants to get into it. He wants to throw it through the legs and stuff. He wants to really impress this dude.
Yeah.
So he lets his guard down, and that's
Yeah.
his first mistake.
And then the good guy goes into his little like bag, and he gets out this Frisbee that has razor blades
Okay.
glued into the entire side.
This guy did his research.
Yes,
Yeah.
they knew what's up. They're
It was all
professionals.
razor blades, and then he throws it. And how does it kill him? Does it hit his neck?
And the guy, he like catches it, but he threw it so hard that it like hits his hand, and his hand gets into his neck.
Wow.
And then he just sits standing there,
Bleeding
with like
out.
his hand over his neck, and blood squirting everywhere.
Yeah, it's
Well,
my favorite. He kills someone with a Frisbee.
Well, I guess the budget probably worked where his hand would block the wound, so you didn't have to do all the work on to make an open wound
Yeah.
It's just
Genius.
spray some blood.
from behind a hand.
Yeah.
Genius.
But like, it was like it's just one of those things where you're like, what is this fucker doing? And then all of a sudden he reaches in his bag and you see him pull up his Frisbee covered in razor blades. And you're like, what the fuck? How did you pre-plan this? This is the greatest. It's the greatest moment in cinematic history.
I imagine myself being like either an assassin or a police officer that's undercover, and I have a little bag of goodies. And I'm thinking grenade, gun, extra clips, maybe some razor blade frisbees.
Yes,
I'm really hoping in this new James Bond that's coming out when he's when he's like setting up and he's getting all his gadgets.
Yeah.
That they just pull out just like a shitty little plastic Frisbee covered in razor blades.
Absolutely.
And they're like, you're gonna need this 007.
Q comes out. It's
Yeah.
like, I've got just a thing, Bond.
Yeah.
I absolutely.
I
And I
heard
think
there's
it's-
some throwers over there.
some
Don't worry, Bond. I got what you need.
Yeah.
But highly recommend that movie. I think we just watched. What was it?
We also have seen Malibu Express.
Malibu Express.
Twice as porny.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're talking.
Yeah.
No.
That's
No,
okay.
I liked Hard Ticket to Hawaii better. I highly recommend it if you like seeing like when are these made? 70s,
Those were
80s?
like 80s or 90s.
80s, 90s. I don't know. It's real vintage looking.
It
and there's
sounds
big
like
titties.
late 80s, mid 90s.
Yeah.
There's huge
Crap.
titties,
When,
and
Which I
when
watched
the
a lot
video
of.
market,
Wonderful.
VHS was huge.
highly recommend them. All right, we're moving on to number 4. We have 7 of these. We gotta get through them.
Okay.
All right, number 4. A non-specific tech mogul.
She's all that. He's all that?
No. A non-specific tech mogul sells his non-specific tech company in hopes that he can spend more time with his very closeted son. I think that's our opinion, isn't it?
I think that's anybody who watches the
Yeah,
film's
he's
opinion,
closeted.
but
They never address it.
they never address
When that doesn't work out, he decides to take a walk into a void of ever-changing establishing shots. Literally half the movie is just shots of forests,
Just like
and
stock
roads.
footage.
Stock footage completely. That's 90%.
He's
Just
walking
just
into it, or just through his eyes?
No, he
he's
will.
not in it because it's just stock.
Yeah, but
footage,
is it through his
He
eyes?
walks-
Like you see? Or
No,
No,
he's
it-
just walking into a forest, and there's just shots of forest.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he goes there. When he finally makes his way out of the abyss of forests and mountains and tropical beaches, he finds himself at the home of a beautiful middle-aged woman. Beautiful middle-aged woman, her son who she loves, and her daughter who she fucking hates because she wants to waste her time and money going to business university. Hijinks and miscommunications ensue, but everything works out eventually with the help of Duffy, a drunk talking cat. But he can only talk to you once. That's the rules. We aren't going to explain why that's the rules. They just are, okay? Also, everything feels like a porn, except nobody fucks, and it's supposed to be a kid's movie.
I hate that kind of porn.
No, like literally 90% of the movie is like each character kind of like looking at each other, and like the house that they're in is one of those like big mansions with like no furniture, no art,
That's clearly
nothing.
like just rented out.
It's a rented out mansion, and it's for porn. With like a nice pool, and like 90% of it is characters talking to each other, and you're like, I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be a father and like a son, but they might fuck. Yeah. Like any minute, you're like,
yeah, the sister and
this could
brother
turn into a porn.
that are always arguing are always like so much sexual tension.
So much sexual tension.
And it's not like stepbrother and stepsister?
No.
It's full brother sister.
It's full brother
but
sister.
No, don't get confused. It never happens.
It never happens.
It just feels like it might.
And if you were to
read, it should.
It should.
If you were to read the dialogue, even you would like. There's no sexual tension there. It's just in the delivery.
Yeah.
And just like the quality of the film, everything feels like a porn.
Maybe the music.
Hard Ticket to Hawaii is like
an
action movie where they're like, we need as much tits as we can get. We need as much guns as we can get.
Yeah.
We need as much sex as we can get because sex sells.
It
so
does.
They're kind of like a closer to a real film, but they're like trying to be as sexual and as porny as they can without being even softcore porn.
Yeah.
This is like the other end. This is not trying to be porn. But they used a porn house, and they used, I'm pretty sure
they had a
the
porn
brother
budget.
and the son were like, I feel like they've done some gay porn, those two guys.
Yeah.
And like they had a porn budget and like porn quality video cameras. So it just feels like porn.
It's a
but
children's
it's just
movie.
a family. It's just a kid's movie.
What if it was an ex-porn shoot mansion, and
It
two
is.
male gay porn stars were wasted and passed out, and they thought, give them roles, let's do it.
It's true. I feel like
It's like, you're out of a job, here you go.
I'm gonna give you the titles now.
Okay.
Okay. Is it A Cat's Tale, B Duffy's Magic Adventure, C A Talking Cat, or D The Kitty Conundrum?
These all sound so stupid.
Yeah. If I had to pick one
so
movie.
can you go back again?
Yeah, this is the movie for me that felt the hardest to get. I remember so many times I was groaning. I was like, "Oh my god!"
You were screaming.
I put my head in the couch, being like, "Is this fucking over?" Like it was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. Okay, A Cat's Tale, B Duffy's Magic Adventure, C A Talking Cat, or D The Kitty Conundrum.
Well, you said it was like the stupidest thing you'd ever seen. I'm assuming the title is going to be just the same.
Yeah.
And they're all right up there to win the top prize of stupid title.
I'm very proud because we came up with 3 of these, so I feel happy that they all match.
The stupidest title, I think, that would fit the stupidest movie you've ever seen is A Talking Cat? With a question mark.
A question mark.
Question mark, exclamation, and a question mark. And...
Is that right?
Ding, ding, ding,
Oh, yes!
It is.
If you hadn't said it was the stupidest thing you'd ever seen, I never...
It's called A Talking Cat.
No.
A Talking Cat?
Cat?
And the guy... Oh, my favorite thing. So, the cat is a real cat. And they just did, like, this black circle kind of that, like, moves for a mouth. Like, just kind of animated over top.
Yeah, like Robot Chicken style.
Absolutely Robot Chicken style.
Worse than Robot Chicken.
Yeah.
Because Robot Chicken, they try to...
Yeah. Okay, Robot Chicken 2005.
Sure. Maybe.
Right?
It's literally like MS Paint. Let's make an oval.
Yeah.
And then let's make that oval smaller and bigger.
Okay, done.
That's it. And the guy who does the voiceover for him sounds like a drunk cowboy. Like, literally, it feels like they pulled him in. He's not supposed to be. But the whole thing is like... It's like, hey, I'm going to help you with your problem.
But he's got one line.
I can only talk to you once. No, he talks to every character.
But
just once.
All right.
Yeah. Oh, and the best fucking part of this movie, other than all the sexual tension, is the cat gets like hit by a car or something at the end. The cat gets hurt. And they're like, is he going to live? Whatever. And they go in to the room and the cat's on the bed. And they truly just took gauze, like a tension bandage, and just like draped it over the cat.
Oh, that'll fix him.
And but it's so funny because like he's so hurt. And they didn't even try to like wrap him up. They literally just like let him play in the gauze for a bit. And they go in and they're like, oh, Duffy, and it's just a cat laying with like gauze on it. Like it's just the most ridiculous thing. Like
Your
no part of him.
when that was revealed was one of my favorite moments of like life of you just being like, what?
It was,
Like
I can't
after
explain.
like literally the laziest movie you've ever witnessed. Like
It was so
and
bad.
then there's also clear points where you see the laser pointer that they're using to try to get the cat's
Nice.
attention, or like the couple little pieces of food on the ground that they put there so the cat would go there. Like super lazy.
Can we also just talk about the brother and sister of the other family? Because the dad has a son. He meets the woman, an older woman with 2 kids,
Yeah.
right? And then her daughter and this other dad from the other family end up talking because they're both really techie.
Yeah, she wants to go to business school
Yeah,
and he owns
but
a
like,
business.
can we talk about that she actually hates her daughter for this? Like, her son like fixes the fence. He's like a handyman, and she loves this.
And he's the
then
biggest fucking idiot.
he's
too.
such a fucking
He's
idiot.
So stupid.
And the whole time, so many times in this movie, she's like, and you just want to waste your time and money going to university. And we're like, I kept looking at it and I'm like, why the fuck does she hate her daughter going to business school? Like, so against it. Just fucking hates this girl and loves her son.
Just
It's
loves her
fucking
son so
amazing. I don't recommend that one. I recommend the other few.
No, listeners. She recommends all of them.
All of them. A
all
talking
come with
talking cat.
I can't speak for Teapot, but these all come with the Gelman seal of approval.
Yeah. Oh, they were an event. All right, moving on to number 5. A man decides to run for office in his small town, but the current district attorney is a crooked piece of shit who uses a magic ring that turns his new opponent into a dog.
All right, cool.
But don't worry, he can change from a dog into a guy in a dog suit whenever he needs to. Like when he has to drive, ride a bike, join a roller derby league, or punch a dude right in his fucking face. So, he turns him into like a long-haired dog, right? And at any point in the movie, it's a real life dog, but anytime there's an action scene, it changes very clearly to a man in a dog suit. To the point where like the dog runs at a man, and then the next scene is a man in a dog suit punching someone in the face. And the transition between the two is the most unsophisticated thing you've ever seen. And it is fucking hilarious.
He also like jumps on a rope and like
Grabs on with his arm.
Yeah, grabs on with his arms, and then it like goes down so that he can get out from like a tall window, but it's like clearly like a man grabbing on with his arms.
Yeah, in a dog suit. And same
just
with the
in a
roller
dog suit.
derby scene.
Well,
Just
that makes
skating.
sense.
He
He's
gets
just skating
skates on, but just his feet, like human feet. Like it's a dog suit.
But he's on his
It's
hind
supposed
legs.
to be a dog. He's on his hind legs, and he has a helmet, and he's like skating through a roller derby game.
Okay.
Very clearly in a dog suit, but it's supposed to be a dog.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
The names. A talking dog.
All right.
B, every dog has his day in office. C, the shaggy DA. Or D, Spot, attorney at law.
Now I'm going with C.
It
100%.
It absolutely is the shaggy DA.
And it is 100%
Ding, ding,
a
ding.
late sequel to
The
the
Shaggy
Walt
Dog.
Disney film The Shaggy Dog. Not the Tim Allen one, but like the original that was in like the 40s or something.
Yeah.
This one's from the 70s, I think.
Yeah, and it's on Disney. It's
And
on
he
Disney
must have
It's
been-
on Disney Plus.
It's on Disney Plus.
I will say all these films that we've talked about, I own physical copies of.
Except
If you ever want to borrow them, except for that one we watched on Disney Plus.
if you ever like,
you ever wanna
he
borrow, if
spent
you're
money
ever
and
intrigued.
uses space within a place that he pays for. Actual physical space in his home
To
to
store
store
these.
these movies.
Well, I mean, they've served their purpose
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm good.
So
I
that
win.
one, yeah, there's not much to say. It's great, fucking great, because again, the movie is not it's bad. The storyline is okay. It follows
And
the
it's
storyline.
Disney owns it too,
Disney
right?
Yeah,
owns
it's
it.
Disney. It's on Disney Plus.
But like, I am not kidding you. We will show you a video after this of the dog punching the man in the face, and it is the most hilarious thing you've ever seen. It's so funny.
I just don't understand how they get made.
I don't. It's so good.
There's no limit to money for that.
Yeah.
Disney in the 70s was weird. Everyone in the 70s was weird. But Disney, it wasn't the, monopoly huge
Yeah,
corporation
but
that it was today.
I watched stuff from the 70s on Disney, like Bedknobs and Broomsticks, stuff like that. Parent Trap movies, amazing.
Oh, I remember.
Not
yeah.
the Lindsay Lohan one.
So, we're gonna move on to the next one. This one is not supposed. I feel like so many of those movies.
None of these are supposed to be.
No, but I feel like some of the movies they know what kind of movie they're making.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like this one they tried to make like a normal horror movie.
Well, you look at the bank account, you're like, well, we got $23. What can we do? It's
Yeah.
like, get those
this
troll
one,
masks
it
or
is like-
goblin masks.
Yeah,
This one has a higher budget. I will say, like, this next movie, higher budget, supposed to be like a normal
This is
horror
a
movie.
more recent,
more
theatrically run,
like, it's filmed very well. It's just like
big studio
a
film.
really bad story.
And the director is Uwe Boll.
No, believe it or not.
Believe it or not. So this is number 6. A girl finds a magic Chinese music box that can grant wishes, but has grave consequences. For example, it can make your loser dad, who dumpster dives in the garbage right by your school while you are heading into class, into a cool dude who plays the sax and makes all the high schoolers' panties moist. But it will also make the nice neighbor lady across the street die by getting caught in the garbage disposal, Final Destination style. And the Gelman wrote, I don't remember how this one ends exactly. I think we might have been high when we watched it. I do remember that this girl uses her wishes. Of course, it needs a blood sacrifice after every wish you make. And I believe she tries to outsmart it, and she does. And that's the end.
Yeah, I think.
She just tried to outsmart it.
Well, that's how you have a sequel. Somebody else will find that music
Yeah.
box. Did someone else find it?
I don't know if we saw that. We didn't stay for the end credit scene. Like we didn't.
Yeah.
We didn't
But you don't know if
fast-forward
there's a
to check
sequel.
The Avengers style. I think Nick Fury finds it actually.
Okay. Okay.
Avengers style.
In Norway.
There's some really interesting shots. My favorite is they go to visit this one person who it has like this crazy art, and she has like this crazy sculpture in the middle of the room, like so inconvenient. Imagine just in your living room, you just have this giant sculpture made out of like sharp points and poles.
Guess how she dies.
And guess how she dies?
Sharp points and
through
holes?
the face or through the neck. Some in the face or
don't
neck.
know.
She trips.
dies.
My second
and
guess was
falls
going to be
onto it.
my second guess was going to be razor blade frisbee, but
That's a good guess.
That's a fair guess. And like they really establish for that garbage disposal scene that I mentioned in the description. They really establish like what this is, how they work. Just in case you don't have like a garbage disposal in your sink, they're like, okay, we see just a random cut of her. Oh, she's cutting vegetables and she puts some stuff down the garbage disposal. Yeah. And then we see the garbage disposal again. She uses it like 3 times, and then finally it gets caught.
Yeah.
She
There's
digs her hand
far
in there.
too much garbage disposal.
Yeah.
it's not even foreshadowing; it's 5-shadowing.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And like, and she even
trademark.
actually she sticks her hand in it, and you're like, this is the end.
Yeah.
But
The
it
classic
doesn't turn
twist.
on.
We've seen this.
But then she's trying to get something, and then she like leans down to like try to turn it on. Anyway, her hair gets caught, and it sucks her hair and like breaks her neck.
Yeah.
Oh my!
Pretty sick. Final Destination style. Yeah.
Yep.
This has Ryan Philippi.
He's the homeless. He's the dad who dumpster dives.
Him and his buddies go and dumpster dive at the garbage at his daughter's school while they're outside.
And she's just like, Dad, what are you doing? And he's like, what?
And all the kids are like,
and he's so oblivious to the fact like that's like the most embarrassing thing that could ever happen to a high
That's
schooler.
okay.
He's just like, what? There's a nice chair. And he's just,
but he learns to play the saxophone, so it's fine.
I think he could. Always
Well, it
play
does
the
make
saxophone.
panties wet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So titles: A, wish list. B, unwell wishes. C, death wish. Or D, wish upon.
I'm going with A.
Wish list?
Yeah.
It is. It's. I don't even remember. It's wish
Wish
upon.
upon.
It's
Oh,
wish upon.
Shit.
Yeah, it's all wishes. It's supposed to be like a legitimate, like recent horror movie.
Yeah.
And it is not scary, and it's bad. I don't know how else to say it.
Poor
It's
Ryan
not
Phillippe.
good.
Yeah.
It's very
so much
uncomfortable. It's very uncomfortable.
I think like when you were first like, we described this premise at the start of the podcast, and you're like, and you do this for fun, like this is enjoyable. I think what you think is most of the like this kind of movie of like just a generic horror film that you go into the theater and you're like, well, that was boring as shit. That was nothing.
Yeah.
All of these films kind of surpass that in their absurdity at
Yeah.
points. Whereas even this should be one of those. Just the fact that like the reason why he's an embarrassing father is because he dumpster dives
It's ridiculous.
at her high school, and then when she literally wishes, I just wish my dad would be cool.
And he
And
plays
he
the
turns
saxophone.
into like the most generic. Like it's one of those films that's like so clearly a man who's like 50 years old, like a middle-aged man trying to write a high school movie.
A
and
high
he
school
doesn't-
girl
From the
movie.
80s.
Yeah.
There's a
Right.
saxophone.
Yeah,
Right.
but
He
it's
doesn't
present
understand
day.
anything about how current like teen culture works or internet culture
Yeah.
or anything. So he's like, yeah, when we make the dad cool, he has a saxophone. There's nothing cooler than a
Wears, like,
guy
a
with a
sweater.
saxophone. He's got a nice sweater, he's got some sunglasses on, and he just plays a saxophone, and then all the girls go crazy.
Yeah. It's this is not my favorite on the list. It's one of those ones
So out of
where
touch.
you kind of just spend most of the time going, like, at least other ones you're like, what the fuck is this? That one you're just like, okay, what, why?
So this one had a bigger budget than most, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
So
this
do you
is-
think Ryan Phillippe was the reason they got the bigger budget?
probably.
'Cause
I don't know.
I don't think so. I don't think Ryan Phillippe has.
He's done.
pulled
He
that
hasn't
pull
done
right
a
now.
lot since he was young.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, do you think they thought, like, well, this is his comeback. This is his John Travolta Pulp Fiction moment
Yeah.
right here. Saxophone, sunglasses,
Yeah.
sweater, panty wedding.
Yeah.
This is Ryan Phillippe's comeback. We can get the budget for this shit.
We're gonna go to the last one.
Okay.
This one is the most recent one we watched.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Okay. There's not much to be said about
We'll get
this
into
one.
the synopsis. Number 7. The good news is your boyfriend is Paul Walker. The bad news is he was beaten up by your ex-boyfriend and thrown into a wild animal park filled with lions and jaguars. After he is pronounced dead, his brain is stolen and put into a robot dinosaur by a mad scientist. That's the synopsis.
Like, legit Paul Walker?
Yes. he
This is
in
a
this.
legit
This is
Paul
like,
Walker
this is
movie?
like
Legit.
one of his first.
He wears
films.
a crop top for a large portion. Sorry,
Paul
of
Walker.
when his brain is not inside a robot dinosaur.
Well, yeah.
He's wearing a crop top for most of his scenes.
Which is only like 5 minutes because that's pretty early on.
Yeah,
You don't get a lot of like.
you get to see
actual
his
young
head
the
get
fuck-
cut open, and the brain goes into a mechanical dinosaur, which he is now.
So what was the reason why his just...
They wanted.
They
sorry,
needed a brain
they-
for the dinosaur.
Yeah.
And he was just a fresh brain.
At the animal park? They're doing lab experiments
No,
somewhere?
he was pronounced dead at the hospital.
And they
the
stole
scientists,
him.
the mad
Okay.
scientists, like pretended to be a doctor, and then they stole his brain.
They stole him, his
Yeah.
whole body.
That's true.
And took him to a warehouse and cut. You get to watch them cut open his head and pull his brain out.
Okay.
And just Paul Walker's lifeless body is lying there. And then they put his brain into a mechanical T-Rex.
Yeah, no, that makes
Now-
sense. Sorry, I was confused at
Yeah,
first,
yeah.
but now all the dots are connected.
And the best thing about it is that he learns how to fully control the mechanical dinosaur, and he escapes. And crushes one of the henchmen, just like squishes him. Yes?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Does he talk as a dinosaur?
No, he can't talk.
So Paul Walker's in the movie at the beginning, and then after
never-
that, the dinosaur just...
Yeah.
Lumbers
There's a
around?
few, like voiceover parts, but he's never.
Does he
he's never
think?
talked.
Do you
I
hear
think
his
he does
thought
have-
bubbles?
You hear him. I don't know if you hear him think. There's a bit at anyway.
No, but I want to say what the end is.
Yeah.
So he escapes, and obviously the mad scientist is like, "This is my property. I need to get him back." And like people are like seeing this dinosaur, and he's legitimately going to like parties and shit
As a
and
dinosaur?
as a dinosaur, and just going through town and just like killing people, like just eating them and killing
And
them.
it's one of those things where it's like I don't know how more people aren't noticing. Like
Yeah.
he's able to just
And
kinda
he's
walk
going
around
after the
freely
ex-boyfriend.
for a good amount of the film.
Yeah, and
with
he's
like
going.
nobody noticing this.
Well, they notice, but they also
Rex.
they try to say like there's a T-Rex, and then other people don't believe them because it's a T-Rex walking
Yeah.
around. And I think he's going after the ex-boyfriend because he's with this girl, and the ex-boyfriend like killed him, and so he's trying to find them, and so he's killing people. But then the mad scientist is like, "That's my dinosaur. We need to get him back." But then the townspeople are like, "We need to figure this out." But anyway, the dinosaur goes to the girlfriend's house, and she does figure out that somehow that
A sex move, obviously.
his brain.
No sex move.
No. His brain is, she's like, my boyfriend's brain is in this T-Rex. And so now she is with the T-Rex and like trying to help him do something. Survive? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yes, question.
Question. So, Paul Walker is a teenage boy?
Yeah.
In the film, he's like a
Essentially?
high school student.
He's
Okay.
like high school. He's
So-
probably in his
he's
20s.
probably in his early 20s.
So,
during the
teenage
film.
boy brain
Yeah.
and not a real T-Rex, but a mechanical one.
Mechanical one.
Yeah.
Why is he eating people? I mean,
I think he's
mechanical
just- he's
T-Rex
just-
wouldn't have the
He
desire.
wants to kill people.
He's just killing like bad people, like the.
Okay, so it's not just...
And the ex-boyfriend has like a gang, like a
He
posse, like a gang.
Yeah, he wants to kill like this gang. And if he accidentally steps on people, it is what it is.
Yeah, he's only killing bad people.
He should have somehow tricked that ex-boyfriend and his gang of friends to get into an RV and go to the troll town.
It's
Yeah,
true.
there you go.
At one point, I'm pretty sure there is like a weird sex scene where a girl is trying to fuck. Is it the ex-boyfriend or one of his henchmen? Anyway, in the backseat of like a convertible, and then the dinosaur comes up and like chomps them.
Yeah.
At least the girl or something. Like just grabs her and fights her.
Okay.
Anyway. At the end, you'll
Yeah.
be happy to know that the brain does come out of the dinosaur, and they wanted to like put it into a body, like
But
a
they're
fresh
still
dead
looking for a
body.
good friend.
But
Yeah.
they went to the morgue and they were holding up the bodies in the window
Trying to find a
to the
hot-
dinosaur because it was hiding in like a
Oh,
truck.
okay.
And they're trying to find like a hot one, but they were like, I don't know, and like the girl was like, this is my boyfriend, I want to find a hot one. So at the end, they don't really have a body for it, but instead it just sits in a bowl of liquid, like a glass bowl brain with liquid. And then there's wires in it, and then a video camera, and Paul Walker's voice. So she like strips in front of it, and he's like, "Oh yeah, baby!" And at one point, doesn't she pour like Coke into, like there's at one point
Onto the brain.
she pours
Like, the
Coke
brain's just
onto
in
the
like
brain
a-
in the bowl, so
Yeah.
he could drink it
Okay.
as a brain and a video. That's his whole. I don't know where the voice comes from. A speaker.
Yeah. Just a speaker.
Anyway, so it's Paul Walker's voice, just not his body.
That's sort of a lot like Tusk. The ending is just, this doesn't...
Yeah, they
and
couldn't put him back in his
good.
body.
They're
His
gonna
body
put him
was
back
dead.
in a body eventually.
Yeah.
But it's got to be hot. Because
Yeah.
she's still going to want to
Yeah,
date the
she-
brain
Yeah.
Coke
Well, she is
drinking.
still dating him. It lives in her bedroom. Like the brain is
As
in her
a
bedroom.
computer.
As a computer with a video camera, and she
At the
strips.
very end.
The end is her stripping in front
I
of
don't
him.
know why. I
Would
haven't
it
seen
help
this.
if the girlfriend? It's
Oh, no, nothing
Denise
you say is
Richards,
going to
right?
help.
The girlfriend's
Oh,
Denise Richards.
shit, I know the movie then.
Aw, I shouldn't have
There you
said
go.
it.
Well,
Do you know
I know
the
that.
name?
Tammy the
It
T-Rex.
is,
There you
yeah.
go.
Can we tell you the other names we came up with?
Can I tell you how I know?
Sure.
It was on late night 1999.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Something. Denise Richards had just come out with Wild Things or whatever. And I was like, this chick is so hot. This is
Yeah.
amazing. And then I saw something when she was like super young. I was like, oh my God, Denise Richards was even hot as like a 15-year-old. This is
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we came up with the other
Paul
names.
Walker was in that. I never
Well,
watched
he's
it.
only in it for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, but I watched it late night.
Our other names were Mecha Rex,
Okay.
and then Tammy the T-Rex, My Dinosaur Boyfriend,
Oh, I like that.
and The Fast and the Ferocious.
Oh my God.
We knew you would not pick that one.
No.
But we had to put it in there because, Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
So that was the most recent one we watched. I had a great time. It was ridiculous in every way possible.
I have a few notes to mention.
What else needs to be said?
Well,
I'm interested
It
in
is
this.
a large dinosaur prop that looks like a decent large dinosaur.
Like you'd see it at
Thing.
like Disneyland kind of
Yeah.
esque
And you'd be like,
animatronic.
"Oh, that's cool."
Yeah.
But it's very limited in what it can do. In fact, it can't really move at all. So basically it's shot in two different ways. You have like wide shots where you see the whole dinosaur and it's not moving a fucking inch.
Okay.
So like the scene where like she's showing off the bodies and it's just a fake dinosaur in the back
With
of a truck.
eyes that blink.
And then, the eyes blink, and maybe the mouth kind of goes like, that's it. Like,
Yeah.
arms don't move, legs don't move. It can never do a charging shot of, like, it charging at someone Jurassic Park style. And then, you have the close-ups, where they got, like, a puppet, and two puppet hands that are, like, clearly, like, human arms, because they go way too far for, like, tiny T-Rex arms.
Yeah.
And there's a great shot of when he first breaks out of the lab, and he goes to a payphone, and there's a shot
obviously
of these dinosaur hands grabbing the payphone and pressing the button, and then somehow reaches his ear, his dinosaur ear.
And he can't talk, though.
But he can't talk.
And they're very much
so
human
he calls
arms.
somebody, and they just go hello on the other line, and he makes like a dinosaur noise or
But
something.
you're also missing the best shots.
Where'd he get
well.
the quarter from for the payphone?
Right?
I don't know.
But you're missing some of the best shots, which was a widescreen shot. Especially, like, I know there's one where she's riding him at the end, like or not at the end, she's riding him at one point, like riding the dinosaur. But there's these widescreen shots where it's like a generic kind of like stock landscape, and it's very much green screen with like the dinosaur like walking, like running.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like
zoom ins of the feet, of like the feet.
Yeah, but it's very much
Just go on,
CGI. Like it's kind of blurry and shaky, like it's on a green screen. I'm
Yeah.
going do because the thing can't actually move, so they had to like do a small
Zoom
animated
in.
version
Yeah.
on a green screen,
Yeah.
and it's very obvious and it's wonderful. You should watch it
You sold me on Paul Walker. I mean, Denise Richards.
in a fucking crop top. He's wearing a crop top like most of the time he's in it. It's
Until
wonderful.
he dies.
His head gets cut open.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But the brain survives, which is
Yeah.
his essence.
yeah. He can't talk though. Wonder how much got paid for that movie.
Not much.
I was gonna say he wasn't in very much. One of his first movies. But yeah, I'm shocked. The list is over here, and I'm a little shocked that out of all of them, the one you knew is that one.
Yeah.
Like that is
Only middle of the night,
yeah.
one night, late night on TV. It
great
just
movie.
happened to
He
be on.
owns it on DVD if you'd like to
I
watch
don't
it.
own it on DVD.
Oh, it's Blu-ray.
No.
What is it?
It's 4K.
You own it on
Ultra
4K?
You went all out for that one.
Yeah, I really splurged.
Let's be fair. Denise Richards is worth it.
Yeah, she's hot.
She is.
I would say out of we both have to say this. I thinking I've watched every movie on that
Hawaii.
list. My favorite one, most enjoyable one, is I want to say no. There's so many of them are so good.
Cancer-ridden rat snake.
No, but also like feel like I was won over by Troll 2.
Okay.
Like that was one where I was like, I want more of these movies. And it was like it was kind of like we were making dinner, and I wasn't like I was kind of watching it, and I was like, well, we'll just turn it off after. And I sat down like 8 separate, and I was like, I want to see what happens in this fucking movie. And it's just it was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. And yeah, if I had
You've been kind of chasing the Troll 2 Dragon ever since.
Yeah.
It's like your first hit.
it's my
always the
first
best
hit.
one.
So I feel like that one won me over out of all of them. Highly recommend. What is your favorite?
Troll 2 might be my favorite, but Hard Ticket to Hawaii
It's
is
so
like,
good.
especially after watching
Malibu Express.
Malibu Express, and it being like way too. It was missing, the cancer-infested rats making crazy psychopath snakes. It was
Yeah.
missing that part. It was like too much boobs and not enough snakes.
Yeah.
It
I
was
know
just
that's
the-
hard.
the-
I know
the
that's like.
algorithm was off on
I
it.
know that a lot of men are like, what do you mean too much boobs? But come on, there needs to be a balance between boobs
Yeah.
and snakes. There has to be in an action movie.
And that one, like everyone for some reason in Malibu Express wanted to fuck the main character.
Which was a guy or a girl?
It was a guy. He had like a classic like
Crop top?
porn mustache,
Yeah,
and
pretty hot.
yeah, he lived on. Anyway, the one hilarious thing about that movie is the Malibu Express is the name of his boat. He lives on like a houseboat, and in front of the boat is like a picture of like the front of a train that he
This is
put up
Malibu
there.
Express?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
his mom
It's not
loved
hard to
trains.
explain. Yeah. His mom, someone loved trains, and
I
so
think
he
his
put
mom loved trains.
a picture of a train
And she
that you have
died.
to walk through to
and
get
she
onto
may or
his
may not have
boat.
died by getting hit by a train.
Ouch.
Anyway, that's like the best part of Malibu Express. It wasn't that good.
It wasn't as
But
good.
everybody wanted to fuck him. And it was literally like porn style where he would come home to his boat and then his like 2 hot neighbors would be in there naked waiting for him and being
Yeah.
like, and him being like, well, I guess I gotta fuck these
I
girls
will
now.
say-
But then you just don't get to see the penetration.
Here's my review of that one: is I watched Hard Ticket to Hawaii many months ago, and I watched
remember way more
Malibu
about it.
Express very recently, and I remember so much more about Hard Ticket to Hawaii. Like
Okay.
literally, I was like, I couldn't even tell you what that movie's about. And then he's like, oh yeah, it was the guy with the houseboat. And I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I
Very
remember him.
forgettable.
But the fucking female cops and the Frisbees and the drug lords and the fucking cancer snake.
So if you had to rate the 7, where, you know what? Hey, listeners, this is the best one. You got to watch this
Yeah.
one. Are you going to go with Trolls 2 or Hawaii? Hot Ticket to Hawaii.
I'm gonna say, I mean, it depends on if you're an action person. If you love action movies, I'm not a huge action fan. But if
Okay.
you love action movies, Hard Ticket to Hawaii, absolutely. It's just going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be an outrageous fucking action movie. I think I like Troll 2 because of the hilarious like makeup and masks and like all of the special effects type like makeup that they did. It's a lot of fun that way. So that's why it's my favorite. But if you like action, Hard Ticket to Hawaii. After that, I really like. I would say my least favorite one. If I were going from the bottom up, my least favorite would be Wish Upon. That one was not my favorite. And then a talking cat because it's very painful to get through. And then probably the Shaggy DA.
The Shaggy DA, the parts where it's a man in a dog suit.
It's hilarious.
There's
But the
that
rest
one
is
scene
men.
where, like, the time he punches the guy in the face is like an all-time cinematic moment.
Yeah.
The rest of it's pretty boring.
Yeah. And then I would probably do probably the Tammy and the T-Rex, and then Mac and Me, and then Hard Ticket to Hawaii and Trolls 2. Troll 2. That's my list. And those two fall at the top for me. If you watch anything from this list, it's those two movies for sure. They're a lot of fun. Very different, but outrageous in every way possible.
So I've got a question for the Gelman. Did you discover these, or did somebody bring these to your attention?
I think pretty much all of those. I didn't like just blindly start watching them, but yeah, I heard about somewhere. It's like Troll 2 has a few kind of famous like memes of clips of it. If you've ever seen the clip where the guy is like, "Oh my God, they're eating him, and then they're gonna eat me too." Oh my God! There's
so
like,
fucking good.
Such a great bit of action.
Troll 2 literally has a documentary called Best Worst Movie that's like about how it became like a cult phenomenon of this garbage film. That's how I heard of that one. And that's one of the first ones I seen of like a
good bad movie.
And then you couldn't stop.
Yeah, and then
seriously,
you kind of
that's why I'm saying like Troll 2. If like I get like seriously, Hard Ticket to Hawaii it's awesome, but there's something about Troll 2 that like gets you into this kind of movie. I don't know. Is there anyone on there that interests you the most?
I'm sold on all of them. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I like movies. I love movies.
So what you're saying is the Gelman can put together
like I said,
the whole DVD
Hell yeah.
and Blu-ray.
I'll bring
and
you a
everything?
pile.
All right.
Yeah, no, you bring me a pile. I'll watch the movies. I mean, it took me 10 years to watch Scott Pilgrim, and I apologize for that
You
because that
should.
was 10 years of wasted time.
It
Yeah.
was.
I could have seen it 10 times a year for 10 years.
You're going to be kicking yourself from 20 years ago for not, recording that showing of Tammy and the T-Rex.
I'm regretting it right now.
Yeah. We'll bring them, and then at some point in the very distant future, you'll have to do a review episode. Because it's not like you're going to watch all of them in a short period of time.
Well, you don't know that.
No,
Actually, I feel like you might. You get the bug.
I think a great episode would be, there's 7 films here. You got a week to watch it, like a film a day, and then we come back. And
I'm done. You drop them off, I'll watch them all in a week. Guarantee it.
Okay.
Amazing. I'm so excited. I hope our
Wait, so what's the premise after the week? Do I just get the enjoyment of the movies?
No, and then we do another episode.
Come back and we can talk about your experience a little bit.
Absolutely.
I don't know if we could do a whole episode on that, but just enough to
I think
get your torture in this situation.
I would. I want to hear full reviews. I want you to write a review for each one.
It's weird because we talk about movies a lot. Like I told you many, many times to watch many, many movies,
Yeah.
and over time you eventually got to a bulk of them, right?
Yep.
And now I've got a slew of new employees, and they don't watch movies.
Ugh.
And I keep getting them to try and watch movies, and none of them want to watch things like Eurotrip. I was like, it'll change your life.
Yeah.
They're like, why? I'm like, I changed my life. It made me go to Europe. And now I go like as often as I can to try and live these adventures. And obviously I'm not going to go make out with my sister.
Yeah.
As much as I want to, right? Wait, no. That came out wrong. As much as we both want to.
Yeah, there you go.
Sorry.
Consent. I think with
you
younger,
got more sexual tension than a talking cat.
Yeah.
In your family.
I think that younger people, I don't, this is a theory of mine. I don't know. You know how movies are kind of more accessible than ever because of streaming services?
Oh yeah, they're everywhere.
I feel like that's made them not special at all. the fact that you can literally, like, for me personally, I don't have cable. I just have a bunch of streaming services
Same
that are
here.
always available to me. I feel like that's kind of like those streaming services are the new TV. People, they go on there like, I don't know what's on, like, I don't know what's good. I do that all the time where I just like sift through Netflix and I just don't know what to pick. Like, I feel like young
Watch
people.
AP Bio.
Yeah, I should actually.
Oh
I was
my
looking at
god,
that.
it's genius.
But
Netflix?
yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's the guy
It's only
from,
only the first
Sunny
two seasons.
Philadelphia.
No, I've been interested in it.
It's
I didn't know it was on
phenomenal.
Netflix.
I didn't know if I saw it. I watched the trailer, but anyway, I think that a lot of young people, they're like, I'd rather be on TikTok or the internet, or they have shorter attention spans because of those things. And movies are a dime a dozen. They're like, I can literally watch 1,000 movies right now. I have so many options. Like, I don't even know if they even go to the movie theater anymore. Like, do they even like look forward to a movie, or they're like, it'll be on Netflix one day.
No, I've got an employee that says he doesn't go to the theater. He waits to watch it on Netflix.
Yeah.
Because he asked, like, hey, is Spider-Man going to be streaming? I was like, the new one? I'm guarantee you they're not going to put that on Disney Plus or whatever.
Yeah.
At least 3 months after it's in the
that's,
theater.
That's never going to go to Disney Plus because that's Sony technically. Right?
No, but they
yeah.
will get it, right? They'll get it for a portion. That's the deal they made. Is
Yeah.
they'll get the
Oh,
Spider-Mans.
Spider-Man?
Yeah, from time to time they'll get the Spider-Man
Yeah.
movies.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Well,
yeah.
hey, thanks for watching a bunch of really shitty yet good movies.
It was absolutely my pleasure. I had a great time. Absolutely. I was, for many of them, completely sober, and I had a great time. I didn't even have to use enhancing drugs.
I went and saw a New Guy the other day.
Yeah?
And I did a full caramel that was at your house.
Yeah.
A full one.
Yeah.
And I'm walking back to my friend's house after the movie.
Yeah.
And she keeps trying to talk to me.
Yeah.
And she's like, you're not saying anything. And I was like, I don't even know where I am. Like, we're just... She goes, how'd you like the movie? I was like, I don't remember the last 20 minutes. I don't remember how...
That's funny.
I remember him running on a bridge and then
Yeah.
jumping into something, and then I don't remember anything
anything.
else. So I got to go see it again. But I mean, I enjoyed the shit out of it up until the point I
Yeah.
didn't remember anything.
My favorite thing is that you never get high, but the few times that you've done edibles and gotten high, it's so funny because like you are super talkative and like
Yeah.
very energetic, and then when you actually get high, I notice right away because
I'm
you
processing.
just sit back and just observe everything.
Yeah, I just process.
Like, I'm like, what's going on in that little brain? What's going on
so
in there,
much.
buddy?
I'm just
Hey
picturing
fella,
like the,
how you doing over there?
I'm just picturing like the dial-up noises, like you zoom into your brain, and it's just like,
You're just picturing somebody pouring Coke into my head, and
Yeah.
I'm watching
And
my
you're like,
girlfriend
wow.
strip. I'm like, yeah.
Sorry, I was thinking about Denise Richards
Yeah.
getting naked.
Yeah, no,
Again.
it's the edibles. I need to find my happy place with those
Yeah.
squares, because a small piece I had it nothing, and
Yeah.
then the big piece is way
Well,
too
I was
much.
gonna say when we did record that one episode, and you were very quiet during the first.
Do you remember how much? Did I have half?
Yeah, it was like a quarter.
A quarter.
Yeah.
Okay, because I did the
Because
full.
I have a quarter. I had like a half of a quarter.
an
I
eighth.
took a,
An eighth.
I know. I took a quarter, then cut it in half again. Anyways.
Okay.
Can I, real quick?
Yeah.
There's one really bad movie that we didn't talk about
Yeah.
that we watched, and
Yeah.
we were very
Oh,
high
so-
during it.
You didn't watch it?
We did watch it. We were very
Oh.
high, but we didn't talk about it here because it's a very well known
Yeah.
bad
Okay.
film that came out a few years ago
Yeah.
called Cats. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Oh yeah. No.
The musical.
Yeah.
We took too much edibles,
Yeah.
way too much, and watched that.
Yeah.
And it
That's the only way I would have seen it.
yeah,
Honestly.
it was a
It was a
fever dream.
wild ride. It felt like we were laying on that couch watching the movie for about 7.5 hours. It felt like it.
What was it? About 7.5 hours though?
I think it's like a good
It's
two.
a good
a little
two
over
and a half
two.
maybe.
Does
But
that
it
movie need
felt-
to be more than 10 minutes?
No. And my
No.
the worst thing is I think I've never seen anything to do with cats before, but I'm pretty sure. Again, super high. I don't know if I even understood anything, but I'm pretty sure 99% of the movie is just introducing
a
new characters.
They have their own song.
Like, it was 6.5 hours into that movie, and Taylor Swift shows up, and I'm like,
Yeah.
what the fuck, man?
I was like, I forgot. This is her first time on screen, right? And you're like, yeah. I'm
So
like,
that
what?
might be a separate. I have that on Blu-ray. Don't worry.
Okay.
And we got it for Christmas as a couple, and it was from. I think Santa, but it was spelled Satan.
Well,
So-
there's
Satan
there's
crossed
there's
out.
something crossed out, and we think it says Satan.
Anyway, so after you watch 7 movies that will be wildly entertaining, I will give you a separate task later on where you get unbelievably high and watch.
You don't have to rush.
Okay.
You don't have to rush there. Yeah, we'll get there. So anyway, I hope our listeners had a good time listening about these. Like, legitimately, if you don't believe me, look up every movie. They're real. We watch them. You can access them in probably somewhere. Highly recommend a good portion of them. I don't know what else to say.
I've never seen them,
it's a great
so I
time.
have nothing else to say other than I enjoyed the game.
Yeah.
And
It's a lot
I would
of
like
fun.
to play the game again because I'm sure there's a lot of bad
I was going to
movies.
say, you need to give us another 7 months.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something. We got to find more.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think you have the hard ticket to Hawaii. I think you have a set of 12 movies or something?
Yeah, there's
All
a
from the
good
same
chunk of them.
director.
But now I'm very concerned about that set because I think Malibu Express is supposed to be the second best, and the drop in quality was heavy.
It was significant.
So I'm worried about the rest of the films in that set.
And you haven't watched them yet?
I haven't seen them.
Oh my.
Yeah.
I guess the ones that I'd seen before, I'd seen Troll 2 before, I'd seen Mac and Me before, I'd seen Hard Ticket to Hawaii before, and believe it or not, I'd seen A Talking Cat twice. I've actually sat through that twice, and the rest of them it was a first time watch when I watched it with Teapot.
Yeah.
But those are the 4 that I'd seen before,
Yeah.
and that I knew were absolute gold.
Okay.
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right, Know-It-Alls.
Well,
Gold.
all of them.
Solid fucking
Cinematic
gold.
masterpieces. Yeah. Highly recommend. Have a good time.
Have a good week. Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.
Wow.